How are you feeling today? Have you ever sat in front of your desk, opened your computer and told yourself, just 5 more minutes, then I'll start? But when you finally looked up, it was already 2 a.m. On the table lay a cold slice of pizza, and you had just spent 47 minutes reading about why pigeons nod their heads when they walk. You chuckled to yourself, then sighed, I really am lazy. But the truth is, you're not lazy, and your brain isn't broken. It's simply doing its job, keeping you safe by avoiding anything that feels uncomfortable, confusing, or uncertain. The problem is, in the modern world, comfort no longer helps you survive. It only keeps you stuck, trapped between things that are easy but empty, between hundreds of excuses to delay and thousands of plans that never began. The irony is, the very thing that evolved to protect you is now the thing that holds you back. Your brain doesn't hate you. It just hasn't realized yet that safe no longer means happy. It hasn't understood that in a world without lions or storms, the greatest danger is the quiet stagnation slowly killing the potential within you. And that's why we need to learn how to outsmart the liar living inside our own minds. Your brain has a very sophisticated habit. It will do everything except the one thing you actually need to do. When you're about to work out, it suddenly suggests, how about cleaning the kitchen first? Because clearly, nothing says athletic spirit better than a sparkling sink. When you're about to start a big project, it whispers, why not look up when bubble wrap was invented? It might be useful someday. And when you finally decide to study, it gently tempts you. Let's watch one episode of Netflix first, just to get inspired. But in truth, that's not a joke. It's the survival reflex of hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. Your brain was built to help your ancestors escape predators, not to write essays, build companies, or maintain self-discipline. To the brain, anything difficult, uncertain, or unfamiliar is automatically labeled as danger. And the only reaction it knows is avoid it, don't touch it. That's why every time you try to step outside your comfort zone, the brain immediately pulls you back into your soft chair and whispers with perfectly reasonable logic, let's do it tomorrow. You're not ready yet. Clean your desk first so you can focus better. It sounds so convincing, but strangely, the more you obey it, the more exhausted you feel. Not from doing, but from knowing you're avoiding and still can't stop. That's the moment when the brain becomes addicted to comfort, and you become the victim of its own intelligence. We often think that to overcome procrastination, we just need to push ourselves harder, more determination, more discipline, more motivation. But how many times have you tried that? How many times have you made a promise only to break it yourself? Not because you're weak, but because you've been fighting the wrong enemy. You don't need to defeat yourself. You need to understand yourself. Because the brain isn't a lazy machine. It's an ancient organism, still operating on the same survival mechanisms from hundreds of thousands of years ago, trying to live in a completely different world today. It doesn't know what a deadline is. It only knows danger and safety. It can't tell the difference between writing a report and running from a predator. So when you're about to do something new, difficult, or uncertain, it immediately sounds the alarm and pulls you back toward what's pleasant, familiar, and harmless. Once you understand that, you'll see the problem isn't your willpower, it's the brain's natural resistance to change. And there is a way to dissolve it, not by fighting, but by transforming. The ancients called it the Lotus Method, the way of the lotus, because only by daring to go through the mud can the lotus bloom. Just like human beings, only by walking through resistance can we touch the stillness and freedom within ourselves. This method doesn't teach you to try harder. It teaches you to understand the laws of the mind. So instead of dragging yourself through difficult tasks, you learn to flow with them, as if every action becomes a petal unfolding. And when that awareness takes root, something strange begins to happen. You no longer resent the hard things. You begin to see that in every challenge lies a hidden invitation to awaken. There is a truth so subtle it's almost impossible to notice. We don't procrastinate because we lack time, but because we're being deceived by our own brain. It's clever and it's persuasive. It doesn't tell you, don't do it. It only whispers things that sound frighteningly reasonable. Let's do it tomorrow. You're not focused enough right now. Just scroll for a few minutes, then get to work. Sweet, gentle words that seem harmless, yet enough to steal an entire day. In Buddhist philosophy, this is called the monkey mind, a mind that keeps jumping from one thing to another, clinging to what feels pleasant and running away from anything uncomfortable as if it were danger itself. It makes you believe you're preparing, but in truth, you're only postponing the confrontation with fear. And the irony is, the more you avoid it, the larger the fear grows. The more you run, the more tired your mind becomes. You start believing you're lazy, weak, or useless, when in reality, you're simply being driven by an ancient mechanism. The first step to escape it is not to fight, but to see. When you can pause amid your thoughts and say, "Nice try, brain, I see what you're doing," in that very moment, the invisible becomes visible. You're no longer dragged away by habit. You begin to see the whole game. Scientifically, this is called the labeling of the awareness mechanism. When you name your current state, the prefrontal cortex, the rational center of the brain, activates, and the reactive emotional region calms down simply by recognizing you regain part of your control. It's like turning on the light in a dark room. The ghost disappears, not because you chased it away, but because you finally saw it clearly. And from that moment, a small space opens between awareness and reaction, where you can begin to choose differently. When we've seen through the brain's trick, our next instinct is usually to fight it. We tighten our willpower, command ourselves, "Do it, don't be lazy anymore." Then a few hours later, the energy fades, and we fall back into the same loop: tension, exhaustion, and giving up. Fighting yourself is like trying to push a car with square wheels uphill. It moves a few steps, then stops, then rolls backward. Not because you're not strong enough, but because the direction itself was wrong from the start. The ancients call that going against the current. And Lao Tzu's philosophy teaches a paradox that is profoundly true. Water is soft and yielding, yet nothing can overcome it. The secret of transformation doesn't lie in striving, but in flowing. Instead of saying, "I must finish everything today," say, "I just need to start for 10 minutes. Instead of saying, "I have to finish this chapter," say, "I just need to open the document and write the first sentence." Your brain is clever, but also naive. Big tasks trigger its alarm. But small steps slip quietly under the radar of fear. And the moment you begin, a gentle wave of dopamine is released, just enough to make you feel good moving forward. In that small beginning, motivation is born, not from the shout of "you must do it," but from the quiet realization of I can. That is the art of flowing, not giving up, but ceasing to fight yourself. Like a river, it doesn't resist the rocks in its way, it bends around them and still keeps moving forward. It doesn't need to win, only not to stop. And when you learn to flow with yourself, everything difficult begins to feel lighter. Not because it has changed, but because you've changed the way you move through it. There is a paradox most of us forget. The more we try to do more, the more we lose the ability to truly go deep. Your brain is like a blade. If you keep using it without sharpening, it becomes dull, and no matter how hard you swing, nothing really cuts. But in the modern world, we keep pushing our minds into a constant state of vibration. Notifications, messages, deadlines, a to-do list as long as a receipt. Every sound, every swipe of the screen is another scrape dulling the edge of focus. Can you feel it? Sometimes, even when you're sitting still, there are hundreds of voices inside your head speaking at once. What should I do next? Am I good enough? How many things are still unfinished? Your mind at that moment is like a chainsaw trembling in the forest, sharp but cutting nothing. The ancients understood this. They didn't try to control the mind, they allowed it to settle. In meditation, there is a concept called zazen, to sit quietly with no goal, no expectation. Just breathing, just being, letting the mud in the mind sink until the water becomes clear again. You don't need a meditation hall or a bell, just turn everything off for 10 minutes, no music, no phone, no effort to be calm, just sit there and notice your own resistance. At first, it will drive you mad. The brain will scream, "This is useless, you're wasting time." But if you stay long enough, you'll hear something miraculous. A tiny moment, barely noticeable, when all the noise inside begins to soften. Like mud in the water after a storm, at first it's cloudy, then slowly everything settles, and the surface becomes clear again. That stillness is not an escape from life. It is the way you return to your center, the place where everything still moves, but you are no longer swept away. And only then does the blade of your mind become truly sharp again. Not to fight, but to touch life with precision and awareness. When the water becomes clear again, you begin to see everything more clearly. The things that once overwhelmed you suddenly appear simple. Just a series of small steps, thin slices, not a giant mountain you must climb today. But most of us don't fail because we lack ability. We fail because we try to move too fast. While the mind is still cloudy, we try to do everything in a single day, burn ourselves out with endless must-finish lists, and end up with exhaustion, not progress. The ancients, especially Zen martial masters, understood this deeply. They never practiced hundreds of moves in one day. They practiced only one motion, repeating it again and again until breath, body, and consciousness became one. A single punch was no longer a punch, but a form of moving meditation. Likewise, in life, what you need is not to do it all, but to choose one thing and give it your all. No other tabs, no phone, no just a quick look, just a short window of time, 25 to 50 minutes, enough for you to pour all your energy into a single point. Then something miraculous happens. Time seems to stretch, and 2 hours of deep focus can equal 6 hours of scattered effort. That is no longer productivity, that is presence. Because true effectiveness doesn't come from haste, but from wholeness in each moment. You don't need to do more, you only need to be fully there in what you're doing. Everything else will align on its own. And when you act from stillness, each step, no matter how small, carries the strength of someone who has awakened to life itself. No longer a battle between want and must, but a harmony between intention and reality. One slice at a time. Small but real. Slow but deep. Like a blade freshly sharpened. Wherever it touches, it brings light. No flower ever blooms overnight, just as no human awakens after a single morning of motivation. All genuine growth follows its own rhythm, slow, still, and silent. Yet we live in an age where speed is worshipped as the measure of worth. Everyone wants quick results, to transform in 30 days, to have a life-changing breakthrough in a 3-minute video. And when that doesn't happen, we feel disappointed. Then return to our old ways, believing we're not good enough, not strong enough, or not worthy enough. The truth is, There's nothing wrong with you. You're just blooming a little slower than others. And that's not a bad thing, because flowers that bloom too fast are often the first to fade, while the lotus must pass through a great deal of mud before it can open and still keep its fragrance pure. The human soul is the same. Before you shine, you must go through the dim phases. Before you are free, you must live through confusion. Before you understand, you must accept the feeling of not yet understanding. Patience is not waiting until things change. Patience is choosing to believe that even when nothing is visible, the seed is still growing. It is continuing to plant small actions day after day without needing any proof that you're on the right path. Because growth never happens on the surface. It happens quietly beneath the soil. In silence, and only when the time is right does it rise, suddenly, powerfully, as if it had appeared out of nowhere. But no, nothing ever happens out of nowhere. Everything is compound interest built from patience. Each time you overcome a lazy day, a doubt, a wave of discouragement, you're adding another layer of strength to yourself. No one sees it, but you are slowly blooming from within. And one day you'll understand. You never needed to force the flower open. It will bloom when you're still enough, steady enough, and believing enough. And then one day you realize there is no special moment, no bell ringing to announce that you've changed. Only a very ordinary morning. You wake up, sit up, and notice that you're no longer resisting life. You no longer need motivation to begin. No longer have to shout inside your head to stay disciplined. Everything suddenly feels natural, like breathing, like light, as if you've stopped trying to become and simply started to be. That is when the lotus within you begins to open, not because you've achieved something grand, but because you've stopped fighting yourself. No more I must, only I am. No more tomorrow, only this very moment. True transformation always happens in silence. No fireworks, no audience. Only you and a very strange peace. When you start to live with that awareness, everything around you begins to shift too. Work is no longer an obligation, but a way of expressing the stillness within you. Small things, washing dishes, tidying the table, opening your laptop, become acts of meditation because they are done with presence. The world outside remains noisy, but inside you are still. Others still rush, but you understand. Everything important blooms at its own pace, and the miracle is, it's precisely when you stop trying to achieve peace, that peace finds you. Because it was never far away, it was only hidden beneath layers of resistance, haste, and fear. Now that those layers have fallen away, you see the simple truth. Peace is not something to be found. It is what remains when you stop searching. And in that moment, the lotus within you truly blooms. Not loud, not dazzling, but deep, still, and radiant. Like light in water, needing no one to see it, yet bright enough to illuminate itself. At some point, you stop searching for peace. You no longer believe it exists in meditation, in a journey, or in someone who can make you feel enough, because you realize peace was never outside of you. It has always been in how you show up to this life. You don't need everything to be perfect to be at peace. You only need to stop resisting what is. Stop searching for reasons behind your sadness. Stop blaming fate and start whispering gently to yourself, I accept. Accept that there will be days you're not okay. Unfinished plans, wounds that haven't yet healed. But within all of that, you can still choose to be present softly. When your mind is no longer pulled by what you must have, must do, or must prove, you begin to feel a strange kind of stillness, deep, real, as if a new space has quietly opened inside. It's no longer I'm trying to stay calm, but you have become calmness itself. No longer I'm searching for peace, but you are peace. And in that state, life is no longer a battle to win or lose, but a dance. You no longer hurry, no longer fear, you simply move gently with the flow. That is when your mind becomes the lotus, not because you have escaped the mud, but because you've learned how to bloom within it. When everything around you is still chaotic, you remain still. When others run from the darkness, you know light is there too. And if you are listening to this now, perhaps somewhere inside you, a lotus petal is quietly unfolding. Let it continue to bloom by slowing down, looking deeper, and treating yourself with the same kindness you once gave to others. If this journey has touched something within you, leave a comment below and share what the lotus within you is learning to understand. And if you wish to continue walking this path of understanding, reflection, letting go, subscribe to Mindora, turn on the notification bell, so that each week we can listen together to another layer of the soul and see ourselves a little more clearly.